One of Emperor Trajan's most significant and controversial accomplishments was his brutal eradication of the Dacian civilization. The Dacian kingdom, located in the rugged mountains of present-day Romania, posed a persistent threat to the Roman Empire for over 2 decades. Continuous border raids in the region challenged Rome's authority, prompting the 47-year-old fighting emperor to launch a series of invasions into the heart of Dacia in 101. These invasions ultimately led to the destruction and subjugation of the Dacian people. The capital city of Dacia was captured, and the Dacian king Decebalus was pursued and killed. This military campaign was regarded as one of Rome's greatest triumphs of the 2nd century. To commemorate his illustrious conquest, Emperor Trajan erected a towering monument called Trajan's Column, standing at 100 feet tall, just north of the Forum. The column features a spiraling relief that vividly depicts the conquest in graphic detail, serving as a well-known example of pro-Roman propaganda. Although Trajan's brutal Dacian wars were widely praised by Romans, a previous campaign conducted by the autocratic Emperor Domitian was largely overlooked. This brief conflict, known as the Battle of Tapae, took place decades earlier and ended in a highly embarrassing defeat during the Pax Roman era. In this battle, Rome suffered the loss of 2 entire legions, a catastrophic outcome comparable to the infamous massacre at the Teutoburg Forest. The Battle of Tapae occurred in 87 AD and remains a significant event in history. The details of the Battle of Tapae are scarce in ancient sources, possibly due to a deliberate attempt by Roman historians to downplay the significant blow to the empire's reputation. However, it is known that in 87 AD, the Dacian king, Decebalus, and his army crossed the Danube River from their homeland in present-day Romania and launched an invasion of the Roman province of Moesia. The Dacians wreaked havoc and even managed to kill the Roman governor, Oppius Sabinus. In response, Emperor Domitian personally led a counter-offensive that pushed the Dacians back across the border. With the immediate threat quelled, the emperor returned to Rome, leaving the army under the command of Cornelius Fuscus. Fuscus was tasked with invading Dacia and delivering a final defeat to Decebalus. There is limited information available about Cornelius Fuscus, but it is believed that he came from a noble family and held the position of prefect of the Praetorian Guard for a period of time. He was a supporter of the Flavian dynasty and remained loyal to Domitian's father, Emperor Vespasian. It is probable that Fuscus had demonstrated his capabilities as a competent leader and general, although the events that unfolded during the Battle of Tapae might suggest otherwise. In 87 AD, Cornelius Fuscus led an army across the borders into Dacia. It is estimated that his army comprised of 5 or 6 legions, potentially giving him command of around 30,000 soldiers. However, Fuscus was unaware that Decebalus, along with numerous Dacian warriors, lay in wait for him. How did the seemingly invincible and highly disciplined Roman army suffer defeat at the hands of a barbarian force? Decebalus, the Dacian king, proved to be a skilled general and a master tactician. To better understand the events, we must examine the location where the battle took place. Tapae, now believed to be the Iron Gates, refers to a gorge on the river Danube situated between Serbia and Romania.
Happy to serve Rome!
It lies between the northward Balkan Mountains and the southward Carpathian Mountains, characterized by steep slopes and dense forests. This terrain proved an ideal setting for an ambush. Unfortunately for Fuscus, it was also the route to enter Dacia from Moesia. Did Cornelius Fuscus underestimate Decebalus? Was he overly confident due to the formidable Roman force under his command? Was he unaware of the dangers posed by the gorge? Perhaps he possessed a reckless nature, or was driven by a sense of urgency to complete the mission. We will never know for certain. However, driven by the desire to reach the Dacian capital of Sarmazeg-Chetusa, Fuscus led his army into the Iron Gates, resulting in the Battle of Tapae. As the sun rose on that fateful day, the atmosphere in the gorge was thick with anticipation. The Roman soldiers, adorned in their gleaming armor, were confident in their training and reputation. Little did they know that lurking within the forested slopes were Dacian warriors, their eyes filled with determination and the will to defend their homeland.
Take formation!
At speed! Get up! Heavy offense! We obey! In the name of Rome! Giddy up!
Stand your ground!
At the sound of the battle cry, the clash of swords and spears reverberated through the narrow passageway. The melee erupted into chaos as Roman legionaries fought valiantly against the fierce Dacian onslaught. The air was filled with the shouts of commanders, the screams of wounded soldiers, and the thunderous clash of weapons. Amidst the chaos, the Dacians employed cunning tactics. They utilized the rugged terrain to their advantage, launching surprise attacks from hidden vantage points, leaving the Romans disoriented and vulnerable. The Dacian warriors fought with an unwavering spirit, their desire to protect their land and loved ones fueling their every strike. In the midst of the fierce hand-to-hand combat, individual acts of bravery and desperation unfolded. Roman soldiers fought fiercely to defend their comrades, while Dacian warriors unleashed their fury upon the invaders. It was a true test of courage, where life and death hung in the balance with each swing of a blade. Despite their initial confidence, the Roman soldiers found themselves overwhelmed by the sheer ferocity and determination of the Dacian fighters. The once orderly Roman formation dissolved into a chaotic scramble for survival. Blood stained the ground as fallen warriors from both sides littered the battlefield, their dreams and aspirations extinguished in the heat of the conflict. The magnitude of the loss sank in as they surveyed the remnants of their once mighty army. Grief and disbelief filled the hearts of the surviving soldiers, their spirits shattered by the unexpected turn of events. It appears that Fuscus was ambushed from multiple directions, overwhelming his army. Overwhelmed by the surprise assault, Fuscus and his troops faced a dire situation. Despite his unsuccessful attempt to rally his men, the legions were nearly annihilated. The Roman eagle, the battle standard, was lost, and Fuscus himself perished. As the dust settled and the cries of battle faded, the Romans faced the bitter reality of their defeat. This defeat was a devastating disaster for Rome, yet it seems to have been largely disregarded by contemporary historians. However, the empire would eventually achieve victory over the Dacians under Trajan's reign. The Battle of Tapae, although often overlooked, should be acknowledged as a remarkable ambush in history and a striking defeat for the powerful Roman military. Decebalus, the Dacian king, is revered in present-day Romania as a hero and patriot. The location of the battle, the Iron Gate, has transformed into a picturesque national park, while the former Dacian capital of Salameze Jatusa has gained recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.